Real ReilentlessTV in this today. Bro, I got my boy, the motherfucking mayor in this today, man. Shout out my nigga Mavi, bro. What's good with you, gang?
It's a blessing to see you again, man.
I'm like, bro, so we shot an interview, I want to say like last year. We had some technical difficulties. A lot of things have changed since then.
Right.
I want to hear about like, how do you feel about going from opening a tour with Jack Harlow to now running your own tour yourself with your friends?
Nah, that was a blessing, bro, because the Jack Harlow tour was like an amazing opportunity, and like that's really what changed me to like being a professional in the sense like understanding how all the different parts of this music business work, from the production, pre-production, post-production, and then the on stage and traveling and touring shit went. And I'm so grateful to Jack and all his people for having me on that thing, but having me on my own thing, it's just been amazing because the same things that Jack and his folks and Babyface, right, all the lessons that just being up under people has shown me.
Yeah.
I've been able to like share some of those blessings and some of those lessons with my friends. And it's like all I ever wanted to be able to travel. That was our dream, like since we was kids. So it's just been beautiful, bro. And I learned so much. I did so much better than I did the first time around. And it's been a blessing, no bullshit.
What's the experience like? Cause I'm like, to go on these stages in front of, it might be 5,000, 2,000, 3,000 to 10,000, 20. You feel me? You never know what you're gonna see when you coming out, whether it be opening or whether it be your own tour. So like, how do you help like calm some of your nerves before you about to go out there?
Shoot, I just, you know, I do certain things the same way every city. I drink the same kind of tea on the day of the show before, when I'm backstage, right when I'm finna go out. I eat the same kind of little snacks before I go on. And I just always try to take like a moment for myself to just be quiet, allow myself to like sink furthest into my shell as possible.
Yeah.
And then when I run down on stage, I hear that music, then it's like, it's time to like reciprocate all that energy. It's like it explodes and it's beautiful.
I was gonna say, bro, it's a beautiful process. And one thing that I've wanted to know along this journey, because I'm watching my friends like in live action, like really like pursue their dreams and attack this shit. So I'm like, how does it feel when you in the overseas versus like a US crowd?
Nah, it's different, but it's so the same. Cause like music really allowed me to see that like, even though it's cultures I might not understand, even within the States, it's so many places that live such a different lifestyle, different weather, different things they eat, different things they enjoy just as recreation. But music been a thing that like remind me and reassure me, because coming from North Carolina, coming from South Carolina even before that, it wasn't something I even understood that like people 4,000 miles away, 6,000 miles away, we kind of on the same wavelength. And so I would go into shows like not knowing if people spoke the language, if people understood even what I was saying in between the songs or in the songs, and then getting some of the most love I ever experienced. Like, the Europe leg of the run was like so crazy for me, because like I never even been out of the country really before tour, like, and I ain't never been to LA. I ain't been to a lot of places before rap. So the blessing part of just being able to travel, combined with like seeing how the love is the same everywhere, just because like human hearts are the same everywhere. That thing has been so beautiful. No bullshit.
Do you think it's surprising that like when you go into other cities, sometimes people are like, oh my God, there's money there. Like, and you feel me? I don't know if it's the same for you in like the city where you're from.
No.
Like, you feel me? People know of you a little bit more. So I don't know if they think like, I don't know what the hell is going on. Like, how do you feel about that?
It's kind of a mix of a bunch of things. It's because like people in the city, they've been seeing me. So like they know me just as a dude. I don't have to be a phenomenon ever here. That's why I don't see myself ever leaving here, because also Charlotte, it just doesn't have a reputation of really just like fanning out over people's personas and stuff.
Yeah.
Like we kind of honest in a certain way. Most people who doing art out of Charlotte is doing it because they really love it. Because in a lot of capacities, it's not a lot of avenues for us to explore that, and not a lot of potential rewards from doing it just here. Like as opposed to, it's New York artists who only really do music in New York, and they're able to have a lot of material success. So because Charlotte is like an honest city and like a person over persona kind of city, it allowed me to like still be Omavi sometimes. So it definitely do be a shock sometimes, like when I'm just walking around traveling different places and I beat Mavi. I'm never prepared for that, but I always love it because my whole goal with my music is just to like connect with people, let people know that like the same way I feel is the same way we all feel. That's the whole moral of the story. Like I tap into my emotions so much to try to reach for something that like all people everywhere can like feel and relate to. You know what I'm saying? So when that happens, I'll be so happy.
I wanted to touch back on when you were talking about like the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
I want to say like when it comes to that, it's like people are doing what they're doing at like a level, and it's just like sometimes when it's unfathomable for you, like how other people are receiving it,
right.
Sometimes it'll make you think like, is this really like what's going on? And I wanted to really touch on that because it's just like when you have music or a fan base that's bigger outside of like the city that you're in and different shit, it's just like sometimes let's say if it was like the fam in the beginning or your friends in the beginning, different shit like that, it's just like people are hearing you when you're saying like, yo, I'm gonna do this, and like even after you've already done this shit now, it's just like everybody's I would say it wouldn't be after effects, but like the way that they feel after the shit's already happened, they're like, oh shit, like I've been in, like, bro.
I used to feel a way about that, right? Especially when I was younger, like when I was 19. I used to feel like really disgruntled about that. But it's something honorable and respectful to like art and like about my city in specific, where you kind of have to show them and earn something from them. And like being from a place like this, low key, I feel like it made me go harder personally.
Tight shit.
And it make all us go harder. And like that's like on the media and on the community outreach and on the arts and on the science and on the studies, and people from here just go harder because we gotta prove it a little bit harder. If you ain't no banker, it just ain't no regular lane. You know?
I want to emphasize what you just said. Everybody needs to go harder because I want to say like in Charlotte, I do feel like we have elite talent here in different fields, like rather it be the music field, artistry, like just anything that has to do with creatives. Charlotte really does have it. The only thing is, it's like me personally, I feel like the biggest critique I could give is that like when we drop Charlotte people, we drop it, and a lot of times like the different crafts and stuff isn't able to be in the people's face long enough to really culminate into something crazy. Or another thing I see with the people in the city is that like the different sides claim, or the different groups and cliques claim like who's the best artist in their area, but we not putting all these people on the same platform where it's like they can chase it at the same time. I'm not even saying like, oh, it has to be a competition, but a competition-based thing definitely brings a lot more eyes like to the area, and we need to make the people of Charlotte and outside care about what we got going on here. Definitely
bring eyes to this. Definitely healthy competition is like something that I've been seeing is growing, where like people don't have to feel like, oh, it's me versus them, like I want to win so they have to lose. But it's more like, oh, I see them doing that, so I want to do this and this, and I love that. But speaking to the part where you're saying about people dropping, they don't necessarily follow through in a way that you would like to see, I would say like, we live in an era where on social media, basically everything we look at on our phones from a perspective of like human created media, like cooperative human thought. It all got a number underneath it. How much reposts, how much likes, how much retweets that it has. And I think like it's easy to get discouraged when like you see people flaunting that I have this million amount of things, and like you so far away from that benchmark. And the way that I got around that, and that I would like encourage all the artists, anybody in life to look at it, is like, bro, if 2 people listen to my song, that is 2 people. Like 2 people who live the whole life, got a family, have dreams, have fears. They love something that I created. If 50 people like it, that's 50 whole people. That is a lot of people. 50 people coming and telling you one thing at one time is immensely overwhelming. 100 people would fill this room. You know what I'm saying? That way. So I think like sometimes just seeing people flaunt the numbers, which I feel like is like an after effect of all the effort, it discourages us from like pursuing and engaging with the people who have room in their hearts and their minds to love and accept us. You know?
Right. I feel like over time, certain people are gonna like, I guess, get discouraged. Yeah, like how you said, get discouraged based off like looking at numbers and different shit. But it's like at the same time, you gotta be willing to look at your number and be like, okay, I'm trying to get 1% better on this, or I can get one more person. Because I'm like, if you're looking at everybody else shit and you're not working, it's never gonna really culminate to what you want it to be.
Yeah, it's like exercise, bro. Like, you can't get swole in a day.
Facts.
If you give yourself, okay, I'm just gonna be here and do this today because I did it yesterday. Over weeks and months and years, you're gonna begin to see results. And then as you begin to see results, you're gonna realize it's not necessarily about the results. It's about how good it feels to be in the middle of it. And I think like, because sometimes we don't have a lot of arts resources and stuff, and like encouragement from the arts in terms of like city funding, and like the city going out of its way to like make these spaces for local artists, especially local Black artists. It can be hard, bro, to like just feel good and encouraged in the middle of it, you know?
Right.
But that's one of the things that like I feel like is one of my personal missions, like to contribute to the city, to like give the artists who are in the middle parts affirmation. That's why like it's like one of my personal missions in the city to like make the local artists feel good and affirmed in the middle part, that like you doing something worthwhile because it feels good and humanizing to like create something and enjoy something while you're doing it, and that there are resources to encourage you continue to doing it. So I'm just trying to make it like where artists feel less discouraged and negative about being in the necessary part of being an artist, where you're working hard and you're making your best thing, but how much progress you're making in your art might not be being matched in like the numbers. Right. Because the numbers don't even reflect the full story, you know? Yeah.
I was gonna say the numbers don't reflect the full story. I would say we're looking for more of like growth as an artist. Maybe they become more versatile, or maybe they hop deeper into a niche that they're really good in.
Yeah, or be more. Yeah, really, what you're saying with both of them is like being more honest. You know, we all people who got so much different parts that they sell, and from weird places and like weird stuff. All of us. Yeah. And I think leaning into that weird stuff is difficult but necessary in order to like to be yourself. Right. In the best way that you can, and that's what art is about to me.
You know, it's crazy. I'm like, bro, it's crazy that you, earlier we mentioned the thing in Miami, but it's like, when you go out of town, right, let's say like some of your experiences, like when you're just walking around different cities, right, it's like, it's almost like a relief to be outside of the city of Charlotte sometimes, because like we know everything that goes on here, so it's just like, okay, if I go on this side, different shit like this, different time, it just might be wrong place, wrong time. Right. But I'm like, when I'm out in other cities, I'm like, bro, anywhere, I'm like, oh man, this is the great bagel spot. This is like, you can walk around, different shit like that, and it just be like really like a breath of fresh air type.
I definitely be, let me say this right. I definitely be very more cautious.
Oh, you're even more cautious.
And more prepared.
Okay.
If you understand what I'm saying. Here than anywhere else.
Tight.
But that's just because here, I feel like I can go everywhere. When I go to other cities, I'm trying to go to the downtown. I'm trying to go to where the party's at, where the art at.
Tight shit.
Where the cool people is at.
Yeah.
Then I'm trying to get back in my hotel and go home. Here, I'm trying to go to the shrimp spot over here. Soul food spot over there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go hang out with the homies over there. So it's just necessary just because it's my city and my upbringing that took me to all the different parts of the city. That's just what's natural to me regardless. But what come with that is like stuff I feel well prepared for.
Right.
Well prepared.
And it's not even like growing up in the city, it's not even like, oh, like you can't go to a certain area, place, and nothing like that. It's nothing like that.
It ain't territorial.
In all honesty, I'm like, when I'm in Charlotte, I'm less worried about something like something popping off the random and something like, okay, you're about to be in an altercation with this person, rather than being like an altercation happening while you're out somewhere and then just be some crazy shit.
That stuff definitely is a thing. And just also being anywhere that you're from, not even just Charlotte. When you from somewhere, you know who get along with who and who don't get along with who.
Tell you shit.
But everybody grew up together. So everybody from their city got to politic and do this and this.
Yeah.
And I try to stay out of that as much as possible. I try to just be like somebody that everybody from all the different cliques and sides and all of that can feel is just a cool guy. And, you know, love and respect has taken me a long way. But yeah, I definitely don't, I'm not out here playing.
Okay.
You know.
Bro, so who are some of the most like, I wouldn't even say famous, but I would just say like notable people that you came across while you were on this tour?
Shit, my grandma.
Okay. Well, you already knew your grandma before the tour.
I did, but she came to my show.
My
aunties, my cousins, them is the most. My family come to my shows. That means more than the president of the United States come to my show. No bullshit. Because like, on the music tip, like I was, you know, I rap from a very vulnerable place. I talk about stuff I've been through that might make my family feel like concerned or like afraid or like ashamed that I even had to go through it after they made so much sacrifices for me. So to see them come and enjoy it, that's no bullshit. I'm not saying that like to be like that, but no bullshit, that has been the most humanizing part of the tour. Like, you know, I had family come see me in San Antonio, in Atlanta, in Charlotte, obviously, in Chicago, in New York, you know, like 6, 7 tour stops that I had people had to tell my manager like, oh nah, go get my auntie from the front, make sure she's straight. DC, so like them type of things, that thing mean the most to me because they be so proud, and I be so proud to make them proud. That shit hit different. No bullshit.
Hell yeah! I was gonna say, bro. When we were at the Charlotte show, you definitely shouted out the parents. Yeah. You feel me? While you
I was ready to cry in there because I was thinking I had took one song where I just had named everybody that we done been lost, that wasn't able to be there and see that. Like, that's the one thing that made me sad about all this, where it's like, but I know they see me still, but I just be wanting them with me, like everybody that I've been lost. So yeah, everybody that is still around and still able to come out and see me, that means so much to me, bro. I can't even lie.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Are you the most popular cousin in your family now?
Amongst the youngest, I'm one of the turnt cousins. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
I'm one of the turnt cousins, but the babies always be the turntest cousin. Like the little ones,
Are you the youngest?
Nah.
Okay.
I'm the youngest, like from like my
generation of
cousins.
Okay.
For the most part. But it's definitely younger cousins. The babies, they definitely be the celebrities of the family.
Okay.
But to the babies, I'll be turned up. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. Man, so you said that you love seeing your family at the shows.
Yeah.
And I know they got to be a big part.
Yeah, the biggest.
Have they been to some of like your livest shows, like, or your biggest shows?
Oh yeah, like Charlotte was probably my biggest solos Mavi show.
Okay.
And they was packed out. It was like 50, 75 people from my family just there, you know. And that, it just made me feel, like I was just doing something that like, it made me know I was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Cause I just want to make my people proud, bro. Like, and make my city proud. So to be able to do both of those in one night, that was crazy.
Like, I'm like, bro, I got a video on my phone and it's literally like a wave of people. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I did spend the $80 on the VIP.
So you was up there with my grandma now.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I would have rather been up there, like, in the front. Like, I paid $80 VIP. I went to the back. I said, bro, we might as well be at a goddamn stage at Rolling Loud. Goddamn, it's too many people out here. So I'm like, after the show, I was like, man, I'm going to catch bro right out there. But this right here, it definitely do it. I'm like, bro, this is like almost, if the Fillmore can hold
900.
It was more than 900. It was more than 900.
9 something.
I'm like, bro, it's something crazy. It's something crazy.
It was a blessing because, like, you know, I'm willing to perform in front of one person. I'm willing to perform in front of nobody. To me, the performance part is like the final stage of creating the thing, whether somebody's around or you just performing it in front of your mirror before you go to the studio. It's a holy experience. So,
practice makes perfect on it.
That one, but not even like it's practice. The perfection is in the doing. Whether doing it by yourself or in front, like doing it in front of a million people is not the last step.
Okay.
Doing it is the last step, whether it's in front of one person or a million people.
Okay.
Not the last step in terms of the depth of the thing, but it's the maturation of the thing. So, to share that with people that I love more than anybody else, in the city that I love more than anywhere else, that was the one, I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so bro, you know what? We're gonna start it from the beginning and we're gonna work our way to present.
Let's do our thing.
All right, so we're gonna start off with, let's talk about your JIT years. Like, how would you describe your younger self and like your upbringing?
So it's complex. Like, my parents, they from two different sides of like Columbia, South Carolina. They both come from people who had very little.
Yeah.
And turned it to like something. And then from something, both of my parents came and made the move to Charlotte. And we had very little. We was getting evicted out of certain things. We were staying in different places that wasn't the nicest place to stay. Mm-hmm. And both of them created skills and made sacrifices that would allow us to like have things that they didn't even have. Not super a lot at all by any means. Yeah. But like stuff that, comforts that they wasn't able to have as children. And so when that happened, around the time I was like age 5, 6, we moved to university. Stayed in a relatively nice suburb, but like very accessible to like a young black family type of thing. Yeah. And I went to school in a lot of different types of neighborhoods. I went to school for the first time off I went to Moorhead first, which is like up there north side by Vance and J.M. Alexander. And then they told me I was too smart to go to Moorhead, so they sent me to Tuckasegee because they had a TD program. And that's off Tuck on the west. So then I went there and I was mixing with just kids from all different parts of the city. And then from there, I went to Piedmont, which had, you know,
Ivy type.
Yeah, so you went to school with the richest of the rich and people from the hood, but just kids that
super smart
tested in and selected in.
Right.
It was talented kids. And then I went to West Charlotte. And, you know, West Charlotte, I seen a side of the city that, like, I just wasn't even exposed to prior, and learned different things and developed things and picked up different things. And then I went to Berry, which is also on the west side, but it's also like a magnet school. Yeah. So it was a little bit of the Piedmont mixed with a little bit of the West Charlotte. Right. So, yeah, just through all my years of coming up in the city, I done been able to see a lot of different lifestyles and participate in a lot of different lifestyles.
Yeah. But I was just gonna say, man, like, the TD is actually crazy that you mentioned that, because I'm like, talent development, shit, maybe they the right scouts.
Did you close that door? Oh yeah, they're not. They definitely developed the young nigga talent, because I was in I was in 3rd grade with 4th and 5th graders.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing multiplication tests, like speed tests against the teacher type of shit.
Right.
And like a lot of my friends that I came across in different walks of life, that's not just about being talented and gifted. That's a big quote unquote around that, because that's really like, you a clever kid. You not a better kid or a worse kid. You just clever.
Right.
So I've seen a lot of the homies from then that I'm still tight with that I came across in different walks of life that don't got nothing to do with school and this and that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely a blessing being in that, because I'm the type of nigga, bro. I need a challenge. It's different. I be needing a challenge every once in a while.
I'm like, man, be in class, like, the only thing that I really remember from like TD is like they'll pull you out of class and then they'll just make you like do like something above your grade level, a couple steps above your grade level, see how fast you can do it. But I'm like, once that gets over time, it's just like, I really do see like why they be saying like, if you have someone who is creative, gifted, or like very intellectual, you kind of gotta give them space to grow in different areas, because they'll get bored with like the basic.
In 2nd grade, they pulled me out of class for the TD at that school. I wrote a poetry book when I was in 2nd grade type of shit, which like I literally just remember when you said that about getting pulled out of class. But then when I think about it in context of like my greater life, they was pointing me towards something that I had business doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it's crazy that it's crazy that even some of the schools, like, they can pick out and almost see it in some of it. And it's just like, it goes back to almost the imposter syndrome type thing. It's just like, sometimes when you're in the midst of doing what you're doing, it just seems so natural that it's not like you're trying to do it. I was like, even when in school or different shit like that for talent development, it's just like, you're smart, but it's not like you trying too hard, but it's just like, I get it type shit.
Definitely like reinforced that I was meant to do the things I'm doing.
Yeah.
However, one of the things that I'm trying to do, like in the city going forward, is like be able to introduce and make accessible those types of educations, like in terms of the arts and specific, and history and psychology. Those are my 3 things that I'm trying to do, to like people who aren't selected based on numbers, or who would otherwise be overlooked or wouldn't get pulled out of class, because all of them are equally apt to those same great things as I was. It was because of like a white supremacist education system that rewarded a type of cleverness that I was more apt to have at a young age. Not that I'm actually better or more talented than anybody in those classes, or that I was more smart than anybody in those classes. I was just more presentable in terms of like what I was able to do. And as much as that felt like it made me special, it also made me feel like I was useful.
Yeah.
And useful to people who ain't really care about me that much. So I'm trying to make it where I'm extending that out of the care that I have for all black people, you know what I'm saying, specifically. Yeah.
Well, okay. I definitely got a lot of respect for that.
Yeah.
Those different types of programs, though, at the same time, I wish it could be expanded to a certain point, because I feel like as the black community and different things like that, it's like, okay, we have different entertainers, we have different athletes in different ways like that. But for the same, I would say for the same people of that demographic, like, we need to figure out a way to help like leverage that people can do some of these other jobs at like a level where it's going to actually get them paid and different stuff like that.
Yeah, but you also got to consider that like the same classes that you were like, it's by mere coincidence that the same thing that I gravitated toward in school at a young age turned out to be the thing that I do as a job. I don't think that's the case necessarily for most children, especially most black children. So I think like, as much as it's important to like give black children all of the avenues to like explore, I think it's more important to give them the avenues to explore all things as a young age. Yeah. And then direct them to the path toward things that they enjoyed exploring, in those developmental ages, like 13, 14, 15, and then 17, 18, 19, when people are in between middle school and high school, when people are in between high school and full adulthood. So, yeah, I agree with you. But I think it's important that we don't try to just like industrialize our children, because certain things, if it's like, okay, yeah, we making it where you got it in the arts for kids, because arts education in children is something that a lot of people feel near and dear to their heart. Let's try to do accounting in children. That's a bit.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like the one we need off the rip. Like, that's crazy.
That just don't mesh super well with the personality of childhood that stage. It's just more like allowing children to feel free to explore themselves, and then letting them know the things that you enjoyed exploring about yourself are things that you can build a life around, or build a portion of your life around, or just try out as an adult. Yeah.
I was gonna ask. I was thinking about doing a certain type of program a little bit later down the line, where it's like you're connecting people from the fields to the kids that want to pursue those types of fields.
Exactly.
Because
shadowing and mentorship.
Right. How we were talking earlier about like you have your friends and then you have people that inspire you.
Yeah.
It kind of like would link hand in hand with another story that Sko told me about how all you guys met up. I don't know if it was the Boys and Girls Club per se.
Studio 345.
Yes, sir. And it's just like something along those lines can help push people in like literally the right areas. Because I feel like a lot of inner city teens, especially like the ones here in Charlotte, it's like they have a lot of potential, but when it gets to the summertime around that middle school to high school type area, a lot of people are gonna get more curious in doing like I guess the different things that they subconsciously want them to do out here. But it's just like if they had their minds focused on like a goal or a craft or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like we gotta make those resources to try shit available in the vulnerable and developmental years.
Yes.
Get like these young kids, they wanna try to paint. They wanna try to make a song. You know? Give them the things where they can make a song at the crib. They don't have to go to no program. That's kind of like, I ain't gonna get into it too deep, but like within the next year, like my foundation launch and a lot of things that I'm finna do in the city over the next year, really in terms of like the mayor part, like is about giving the kids the resources to explore the things they already like on their own time. And that own time means the summer. That means after school, the times when I was getting into bullshit.
Right.
Because I couldn't go to the studio. Giving the kids an area to create the things for themselves. Giving the kids a laptop, or giving the kids the software, giving the kids the paint, the easels. The resources be feeling too vague. Let's be concrete. Okay. Giving the kids the things to play with in those eras where you bored. That matters a lot, you know? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, Mob, it sounds like we got a great, you feel me, bridge coming along for like, just like the things that people want to do for the city. And definitely. I'm really grateful to be having like, you feel me, friends like you feel me, and our other collective friends from around here.
Hey, shout out
where
to
it's
the
like,
bridge
we're going to make this shit happen.
Shout out to the bridge. We is a bridge. We at the new bridge.
We at the new bridge.
Come throw your event here. Come print some t-shirts, come record some music. Shout out to Hxncho.
Hxncho, R.I.P. Hxncho.
Man, rest in peace, Hxncho, man. He a real legend in this city. He done touched so many people with his art. He did this mural behind us. But yeah, definitely, all the people that we coming up around right now are definitely like trying to advance the city, even at the cost of their personal desires. And that's a good sign to me.
But I would say as long as it's linked, it means a lot more. But for real, I really want people to push it towards like, okay, so my outlook on it, like, if you can collab with somebody near you, you kind of helping the cause.
Definitely.
And I'm feeling like with Charlotte, if we can get as many people to, we ain't gonna say everybody has to collab, but if we can get a lot more people to collab, it's just like you're opening up your audience to a lot more different people, and at the same time, it's like we're they're able to build the culture.
And especially like across these cliques and loyalties and friendships that people like to isolate themselves within. People reaching beyond that in the city, that definitely means a lot, like to like the greater potential of like the art scene in general here. Yeah.
Okay, bro. I remember you had an interview with I think it's like Bars and Beans or Beans and Bars, and you lightly touched on like insecurities as like a high schooler.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about like your growth from some of those, and like, can you touch on some of those and talk about like your growth and development to this point?
Cool. Yeah. So the answer to that one is, you know, my name was Omavi.
Okay.
Which is like, do you know any other Omavis?
No.
So the thing about kids, what kids pick on other kids about is stuff that they haven't been exposed to.
Yeah,
we uncomfortable around difference. So I was picked on about being named Omavi. I was picked on about having dreads my whole life and it not necessarily being retwisted all the time. Okay. About having crooked teeth, about being a nerd, about not being a nerd, you know what I'm saying? About all these type of things. And how I developed through those insecurities that like that childhood era done developed in me was accepting and realizing that those differences are the things that attract people to me. The insecurities were based on like people won't like me because of this.
Yes.
Once people started liking me because of this, it's like, whether people like me or not, I am this. So I like this because I am this. Because people liking it and people like not liking it can equally be dehumanizing.
Yeah.
So it was just realizing, somebody asked me like, did you always know that you would, were you always a popular kid? Were you always somebody people wanted to be behind? And I was like, no. But I was always the only Omavi. I was the only nigga to be a lot of things. And that's not me saying I'm different in a pedestalizing way. I was different in a way where I felt alienated.
Right.
But that alienation means, especially in children, inspiration. And that we all waiting for you to do something that we can get behind and tell you have a beautiful smile, that I like that you know this. Oh, I want dreads too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like really making people feel comfortable with liking something that I didn't be exposed to. And I feel like because I was always so different, it meant that I had something that people could attach to if they so chose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I got over it.
It makes it very like polarizing when sometimes you feel like not I wouldn't say necessarily like a black sheep, but at the same time it's like
a black sheep, bro.
Sometimes it do feel like that. It's like it's not even like a good or bad thing. It just be like sometimes it just leave you with certain questions for certain areas.
Yeah, but as I developed, especially through I went to Howard, and like when I was in high school, like the popular girls would like say, like I'm ugly or whatever, and then as soon as I got to college, the popular girls thought I was fine, and I'm like, how did this happen? I look the same, but it was that I was fine the whole time, but nobody has said it yet, or that people always like certain things about me, but that wasn't necessarily the thing to like, and so whether people like me or not started to be less valuable. You know what I'm saying?
Tight shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard like a lot in your earlier music you talk about like just like the struggles of like not even struggles, but just experiment with drugs.
Getting high.
Tight shit. Yeah. I was gonna say, so what are some of the things that you tried like in your lifetime?
Sorry, mama. And to all the young people, turn the interview off at this point. But I experimented with benzodiazepines, opiates, psychedelics, marijuana, alcohol.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much it.
What is a psychedelic? Rather it be like shrooms or like anything like that. What's like the first 10 minutes of that like?
deeply uncomfortable. Your stomach started tightening up, and your jaw started tightening. You like, what the fuck? And then you start. It's like a deep discomfort for real. And then you start experiencing stuff. But I ain't trying to super glorify that for the kids. I ain't trying. But no, for real. But my first psychedelic experiences was crazy. That's like low key when I first started believing in a higher power and being open to exploring different questions I had about the universe. Yeah, bro. Drugs are not good.
Yeah. I'm like, drugs definitely not good. We're not encouraging anybody to do drugs, but with different experiences in life, we definitely want to touch on them.
Yeah, let's talk about everything.
But in all honesty, since you've been through these different periods, I've also seen you when you were going through periods of like a hiatus from just any substance. Like you're almost like a cleanse type shit.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say like that shows like a lot of discipline in itself.
But it's because I owe myself the same way how I owe myself my full passion in order to create the art I want. I owe myself my full mind to like be the man I want. You know, sometimes like when you do drugs and you get high, it's like exercising your brain and your neurotransmitters. And after exercise, you need to rest. So having to rest off of getting high means that you have less energy to like do self-care or to improve the difficult parts of your life. And as I got more serious about that, it was like, is this something I want to continue to make space? Is this something I need to continue to make space for? And when it was like no, then it's like, okay, let's get rid of it. I got really serious, yeah.
Okay. It's hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about the first time like you looked down at your phone or your analytics computer, whatever, and you started seeing that your song was doing like abnormal traction from what it was doing before that.
When I was in college, I released this song called 1 Foot. And my partner Earl, shout out to Tebe, he reposted that to SoundCloud. Yeah. And it went way up. And on Canvas, it was already different for me on Canvas before that. But on Canvas, it started getting real different. I'm like, oh shit. Like, and I already had the feeling like this shit gonna work for me. But I'm like, okay, on a tangible level, this shit gonna work for me. Because like I told you, numbers could be an encouraging or a discouraging thing. So yeah, it started being a thing that, okay, all of my times of seeing this shit not do nothing, they make sense with context of this. And then the cool thing about that was, and I say this for all the artists, when something do blow up, everybody's going to revisit everything that didn't blow up.
Snowball effect.
So like,
we need it.
Yeah, keep dropping, bro. Keep making shit. And I started like, it gave me confidence that like, not confidence to continue doing it, but confidence that the things I was already doing
work. You feel me? You just had to get it out in front of the eyes.
Just had to keep doing it. Yeah.
Man, that's super cool. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think we already done discussed on. Have you revisited Barry or any of your old high schools?
Yeah, so both of my brothers went to Barry. My little brother go to Barry right now. He wrestled for them. My other little brother, he just graduated from Barry. He at Howard, like Howard was. But yeah, I've been back there.
Okay. Do you want to do like some talks there? Or?
I would love to, but Barry, so scientific. Low key, my dream job after rap is a biology teacher.
Okay.
So I would love to do that at Barry or at West Charlotte, places I've been to. But it's cool because like all my teachers, they tell my brothers like, I taught your brother, you know. So that should be hella sweet to me. I love that.
That's fire, bro. Yeah. Okay. So joints did spin the block when they saying, yo.
Absolutely.
Mavi getting reposted by who? He doing what type of?
Absolutely.
He dropped this?
Absolutely.
So they was spinning.
Still spinning.
Still spinning. Any of you? Did you get your list done?
No comment.
No comment. No comment.
But,
okay.
Hey, we closed for business, baby. No more spinning. Y'all go date the football player from high school. Y'all
screaming.
Go find your husband. I'm not him. Yeah, we closed for business.
Bro, all right, so tell me about this. So you went from living, like, let's say Charlotte normal.
Yeah.
Went from Charlotte normal to the song blowing up. Is it harder to like trust people now? Because the same way how you were saying like, damn, this joint wasn't acting like I wasn't cute back then. Now she acting like I'm cute now type shit. So how do you deal with like those types of, not just joint interactions, but like just people in general?
Right. I give them grace, bro. Cause like, I'm a shy guy, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times it be taking a little bit extra encouragement to get me to like go outside of myself and just talk to people. Say something positive or negative, good or bad. So like when it take like a little bit of extra encouragement, whether it be by something that I'm doing or something that they seen of me to like acknowledge me, I'd be like, bro, that's human, bro. Like we're shy. And that, but one thing that did change in me is I be like, when I was telling you, I know that your platform is gonna do this and this and this. Yeah. I like this about you. You're good at this. It makes me more open to like say I admire this about people, stuff that I admire in people, without like needing that extra push. It made me feel more free to do that when I see people be shy to do that. And I exchange compliments with those people who were slow to like give me recognition, because I'm trying to show them, you know, it's a two-way street of like love and admiration. And admiration for me is something free. You don't gotta earn it. And you don't have to like humble yourself because you didn't acknowledge it to like give me my flowers now at all.
Tight.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you try to distinguish between, like, let's say outside of the city, how do you distinguish between like fake love and real love from these people?
Real love, the reason why I told you off camera, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably gonna be in Charlotte forever. I'll get an apartment in LA for a little bit of time, or I might get an apartment in New York for a little bit of time, or live in Houston for a little bit of time. Real love, I'm not trying to get that from nobody new. You know? Not because I feel like they're not capable of it, but the people who gave me real love when I was a little baby, to a child, to a teenager, to now, is the same people I'm gonna depend on real love until I get married type of thing. So real love, not the expectation. But real love can surprise you and develop from like chemistry between friends or mutual admiration between friends. So I leave the door open for real love and closed for fake love, if that makes sense. Okay. So distinguishing it is not that big of a thing, because one thing goes one place and the other thing goes the other place. Okay. And the other place is something that I associate with home and family. If something makes me feel at home and familiar, you in the real love section. If not, then we can be friends. Okay. Fake love section for people who like trying to like use and manipulate me. Yeah. And fake love is like a misnomer. Fake love is like something, it's not love at all. So I don't even treat it like fake love. It's just like disdain, manipulation, using, stuff like that. You know?
Yeah, I think you mentioned it in one of your recent songs. I need to go back and look up which one. Yeah. But it was just about like, it was like, yo, like, you also understand, like, it's not like you just inside of a fishbowl. Like, you know, you see what's going on with different people from just outside, you feel me? And it's just like, that's what I was really getting towards when I was just like, is it fake or not?
Nah, I see niggas, bro.
Type shit.
I see niggas.
Cause I'm like, bro, I just think it'd be like crazy off the random, like, so folks, then this not no shade to anybody else's platform or anything like that, but I just think it's weird, like, if folks come out the cut and they just be like, yo, can we bring you in to do this shit? But they ain't never reposted not one song. They ain't never added you on nothing. Like, what's the big, you know?
I don't know. I'm not such a phone person.
You say you're not just such a phone person?
Yeah, I leave my mama on red. I'm sorry, mama.
I'm hollering. Yeah.
So, like, that shit I don't take so serious. Okay. The person I love more than anybody else on this world, sometimes, like, I'll see her text and don't reply. Yeah. So, I mean, what people don't give me on the internet level, I don't see that as fake love or real love. Okay. Sometimes people love you real more than anybody. My mama don't repost none of my shit. Well, she reposts on her Facebook.
I'm screaming.
On her Instagram, she don't post nothing at all. So if I went by her Instagram, my mama give me fake love, but ain't no way, you know? Okay. So I don't take that so serious because also people be trying to watch. And like I said about Charlotte people, you got to earn their respect. It's the same thing with everybody else in this world, you know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, shit. We gonna write this shit. I don't know if Zeno gonna lock us out or not, but fuck it, we gonna get this shit. All right, bet. What is it like when people are trying to sign you? And we can touch on like initial contact, actual meeting, negotiation.
Initial contact is A&R email. Actual meeting is like A&R telling you you're the best rapper ever, and we would love to do anything with you. Negotiation is telling them what you need and them telling you what you can't have. That's it. That's how much I'm gonna say.
Okay. All right, bet. Well, all right. What's up with let's talk about 704 Day, man. I seen that you were doing a collective thing here at the bridge.
Hey, lame ass nigga, come here. This is the genius mastermind behind 704 Day. My great friend Cino.
Come on, this side, Cino.
Making a cameo. You see what I'm saying?
Me real quick. My dog, yeah.
The champion of the bridge.
Yeah, you did.
My brother, I'm proud to. I was proud to just. I ain't 704 Day, not me. I was just proud. My partner told me to be the host, bro. But nah, I think the homie, he was like on some shit like he trying to bring some vendors, artists. Tell me what 704 Day.
704 Day, man, just a celebration of the city, man. We're trying to, you know what I'm saying, replace Independence Day.
Yeah, we don't like America that much.
Yeah, man, fuck America, you know what I'm saying?
Fuck Christopher Columbus, nigga.
But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Just a celebration of the city, so we brought some artists into the city, you know what I'm saying? It was cool, man.
It was nice.
We had a cookout. Yeah, man. We had the inflatable.
Water gun
was
fight.
Racing. Water gun fight. Man.
Freestyle battle.
What a packed day.
And
fireworks.
And how much?
All right, so, after a brief intermission, you feel me? Let's get into it, bro. So, how's the campaign for mayor coming along?
Oh, so smooth. I think this next year for me has been about doing more stuff for the community with the black youth, especially about arts education, psychological education, historical education, where the black kids have a deeper understanding of themselves and their mind work, outlets to like express themselves and where they come from in the city and beyond. So I've been working with different institutions, different corporations, just trying to like expand my reach beyond just being a music artist in the city, being able to exercise change in my city. That's always been what I've been on. Yeah.
So, being that you've already been on tour now, and you've performed to just such a level, do you feel that you've caught your dream?
No. My dream is about doing stuff for my people and doing stuff for my family that I'm only beginning to have the opportunity to begin. That makes sense. But and every time that something that I imagine come true, I start imagining something else. So I don't think that'll ever be a process that's complete until I pass.
Okay.
I wish I'm in love with the journey for like actually catching the thing I'm chasing after. It's not something I ever expect to do for real.
So it's just like an ongoing journey of just seeing how great things can get.
Yeah, and like how much of things that brought me up and raised me and developed me into the man I am.
Yeah.
I can push forward and pass them on to the younger generation and the older generation too. But yeah.
All right. So, describe the current climate in the city of Charlotte.
I feel like on the native level, it's been moving toward greater appreciation of the arts, greater appreciation of Charlotte history, of black history. We had our first fucking black installation at the Mint. Okay. All black collectors, black curator, the first black curator at the Mint Museum. The Gantt is going crazy. We got the bridge. We have all these new black businesses popping up that we all been supporting and have been doing really important work in the city, and then have been meshing with the institutions that raise the black community in Charlotte. So on that level, it's been good. It's been a lot of growth from people outside of the city. A lot of people, I think it was like 180 people a day is moving into Charlotte from outside of the city. So it's a lot of movement, whether it be internally or externally. But it's my place. I love it.
Yeah, I would say Charlotte's becoming more of a melting pot out here.
Definitely. It's been people from the west, the Midwest, the north, the south, out of the country. So people from all different type of lifestyles and walks of life have been coming here in search of life. The same thing that our people came here in search of, but ultimately just opportunity and ability to be themselves. So I hope it ends up being a movement and a growth that works in favor of the people who built this community.
Knowing that, how do you feel about the gentrification that's happening all around the city? Because even when you see it, like you speak about like living on the west side in University area and going to like Philippa Berry, so you seen like near Freedom now, it's like them hoods is torn down. It's like $500,000 condos over there, like, or not 500,000.
No,
they're up there for real.
Probably. It's fucked up, bro. I just be wanting the people who live in the community and develop the community from their own culture, from their own family, from their own principles, to be able to get the most out of the growth of the city. And the gentrification has been like kind of like prioritizing young people without a family over the native families that like make the city what it is on a cultural level. And from the west to the east to downtown, obviously over the last 30 years, even up north from the university where I'm at, like people is getting pushed out from the communities that they made valuable.
Right.
And I can't see myself ever being okay with that.
Yeah. I'm like, some of the difficulties of just seeing what's going on is crazy is because like when you see that some of these areas have been like, they've been wanting for resources and different things, and now that they're getting it, but they're pushing everybody out.
Right.
It's very like frustrating for real.
It's hella frustrating because those people who've been wanting for those resources have been working hard every day of their life, teaching their children to work hard and care about where they come from. And we rename the neighborhood. Now it's Fremore or Lower Tuck. We renaming these neighborhoods that before the name of these neighborhoods was damn near cuss words where white people didn't dare move to. But now this is the new hub and everything's being advertised in a way that don't have no respect for the history of the community. And yeah, I don't really like that at all. I hate it. Yeah.
What are some changes that you would like to see in the city?
Just greater historical appreciation. I was at Johnson C. Smith the other day with the professor at HipHop class over there.
Yeah.
And Malcolm X visited Johnson C. Smith in 1968. And all of the records from Johnson C. Smith have been wiped of that. The only reporting on the event have happened in the Charlotte News, the older Charlotte newspaper, and the Charlotte Observer, and both of them are very negative toward him arriving. So I think there's a lot of history of the neighborhoods and the development of the culture here that has been like purposely erased. And not purposely erased like on no conspiracy shit, but like things happen that people didn't talk about on purpose for a political reason. And the one thing I would want to change, we closed the Levine of the New South for like damn near a year. And that museum basically illustrated why certain demographics go to certain schools in Charlotte to this day, or how certain neighborhoods change, or illustrated the path to like white flight out of the city and then back into the city through gentrification. And I think like all of this stuff makes more sense in context that like people are purposely trying to ignore to be able to advance their own agendas. So yeah.
I was gonna say, bro, it sounds like it's spot on because we gotta remember one of the biggest cases of all time is Brown versus Board of Education, and that happened right here in the city of Charlotte.
Yeah, we had the busing Supreme Court case happened here. It was a lynching. The only recorded lynching in Charlotte history happened at the blacks only hospital right downtown, and they demolished that with the Panther Stadium in front of on it, you know what I'm saying, on top of it. So it's a lot of stuff that like would contribute to like local pride and local understandings of the politics here in the direction that the city on the governmental and like on the elite level are trying to push the city toward, but it's just not that accessible. I think having that being more available for people to learn, access, and understand would make it like, it would create a different political consciousness, at least, and especially amongst the black part of the city.
So, do you think that, like, the importance of, like, knowing some of the representatives before, I guess, voting week, do you think that that would have a better impact on, like, how we can change some of these things?
Yeah, part of the mayor shit is, like, I want to change my city. You see what I'm saying? Like, I want to change the world, but I'm from here. So like changing my city feel like the first logical step toward modeling a change that the world can adopt. And I think local politics from the city council on up is like an important step that like a lot of us overlook, you know.
So on Spoiled Brat, you said you wouldn't rap like that if you wanted it, you wouldn't act like that if you wanted it.
Okay.
What's the story behind this song?
It was a double entendre. Basically because a lot of people told me you wouldn't rap like that, like if you wanted to do this, or you wouldn't be like how you are if you wanted to be like this. And then also to like the younger is like you would be yourself and you would sound like yourself if you wanted to like really achieve like how you say you want to achieve. But and I was like, I was on a backpack path, and niggas stunning. I can't wear a pat on the back as a badge of honor. Like a lot of the nobility people give to this path that I'm on in terms of like prioritizing lyrical content or prioritizing like telling my story, they don't necessarily give that same credence in terms of like making sure exalting that tradition that I'm doing it in. So it was more like, at the end of the day, fuck what niggas say about how you have to do this shit, because doing it your way is the way. And I was a spoiled brat in people's eyes because I kept doing it my way, in spite of what the conventional wisdom is. But eventually that's what ended up allowing me to achieve certain things. Yeah.
So it was just like the conversation we was having earlier, being like the smart versus wise. Like when you smart and you feel me, you're trying to do something that people around you, they can't give you like a certain direction because you're doing it. It's like you're gonna have to bump your head sometimes, but that's gonna make you better in the long run.
Yeah, you gotta carve out your own path, and that's difficult. You gotta clear out a lot of brush. You gotta stomp over the same spot a lot of times, and you gotta continue forward, like in order to like create a lane that isn't already paved. And so Spoiled Brat was like my stubbornness in doing that when people told me to just walk the easier, more cobbled road, for sure.
So, okay, let's talk about, man, the other day I seen a repost on your story. I guess a fan or something was reposting you. I think you were rapping Sexyy Red.
Yeah,
Let's talk about Sexyy, man.
Shout out Big Sexy, man. I love Sexy because my thing about her, the City Girl, Suki, Anna, all of them is like people who try to make out like they're doing something new and vulgar or unacceptable or unclassy when it's really in tradition with the Uncle Lukes, the Trinas, the Trick Daddies, the Gangsta Boos, the Lil Chats, the Lil Kims, the female rappers that like paved a lot of the way because they given voice to like black feminine sexuality and black feminine sex culture in a culture like hip-hop where sexuality is like definitely an important part of it. They part in how they feel about their body and how they feel about their sex politics don't be represented as proudly as the male part. And like I really appreciate that they're doing that, you know. And it's like it's a freedom to like express and be themselves from the women that come from listening to that. In the same way where I ain't never sell drugs, I ain't never shot at nobody. But listening to music about that inspired a spirit of resistance in me just toward the white supremacist power structure. The same thing about hearing women freely accept, even identify their own sexuality, that like embolden women to like take that power back to themselves, you know. And I like that. Yeah.
I would say when it comes to Sexyy Red, I'm definitely loving some of her music, and it is because she's showing like a certain type of bravado, a certain type of swag with her shit, and it's just like, to me, I think when I'm listening to her music, this is like the homie, like, you feel me? This is one of your female homies rap. Now this you might not want this to be your wife, but you gonna have a great ass time with her.
But it's also because like the female homie represent us putting a black woman on equal footing with ourselves.
Right.
Your wife is also the female homie.
Yeah.
You have to be the homie to your wife, but you can still put your wife on a lower pedestal just because of how misogyny works. And so what I'm saying is like, your wife have to listen to you say, I just fucked this bitch in some Gucci flip-flops. She got this new sing all these different songs about sexual escapades that she pray that you not indulging in, but you still feel proud to sing it. So I don't feel like that as men we got no super amount to say in women doing the same thing, or even negotiating what they say against their respectability as women, because it's men that's happily married and rap about doing this and this and this to this man, girl, and this and that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It's art at the end of the day, bro. And sexuality is a subject of art in fashion, in design, in visual art, in music, in film. So in dance too. So I'm saying all that to say, like, a woman wielding sexuality wildly and freely without like concern for who's gonna respect it or who's gonna accept it. That's something everybody should do, because we get to listen to Side Baby. Side Baby a freaky ass. Right? But it's so enjoyable just hearing that shit. Like, I see that as the same thing for men and women listen to this tradition of female rappers in specific, that like lineage of like sexual in nature female rap. You know, and that's not even the whole of female rap in this era. Women is rapping about all type of things right now, and I think like the hyperfixation on women that like real sexuality is like niggas trying to regain a power that we ain't really necessarily earned over the sexual landscape. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I was gonna say, it seemed like for the rap game for like the last 2 summers, it seemed like the females done took it over with the FNF and the what's the ski? You feel me? They've been taking over with them last 2.
I think it's just because they're great songs.
Yeah.
B, they're catchy songs. 3, they have like a concern for lyricism that like I feel like goes overlooked. And 4, like they engage in with the traditional dance and movement a lot more than like I feel like a lot of like mainstream male rap has been really murder, kill, which like after 2 hours listening to that in the club, like I'm not feeling like my most party self necessarily. And so the women have picked up on like, and they always have been doing this, but they have taken the lead on the tradition of rap as a dance music, as a party and a celebratory music. Wow, the mainstream male drill situation has been getting like kind of dark and morbid, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the music is starting to get like, with a lot of artists, they're dropping a lot more now.
Yeah.
And it seems like the water, I wouldn't say the music is getting watered down, but at the same time, it's saturating the market a little bit because I think it's hell of a rappers still like locked up right now. So it's like we're used to getting like all these different sounds throughout the year, but now it only be like a couple sounds throughout the year type shit. More
Definitely
like
it's been concentrated. And it's also because hip-hop culture has become globalized. It's not like a southern sound versus a western sound or a midwestern sound. Sexyy Red is making very St. Louis music, but it's also Memphis inspired.
Yeah.
Young Boy is making very Louisiana music, but certain parts of his instrumentals might be Oakland inspired, further down the line with the bass synths and stuff. So I'm saying like with hip-hop globalizing,
Yeah.
all of the different sounds spreading to all the different neighborhoods all across the country has been like affected at a side effect of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to integrity in music, how do you do you respect artists that don't have a lot of integrity with their music?
Define integrity for me.
Integrity as in like, okay, so if it's not like an industry plant type person, then I would be expecting that what they're rapping about, even if it is entertainment, that even if they're not directly involved, it's something that they're like around frequently, or it's something that they're able to see with their own eyes.
I see where you're going.
They're not just like lying, saying like fake hoods, fake dead people, anything like that. Like,
yeah, I don't promote or condone niggas lying in their raps, period. Because I don't lie on my raps. And I think the audience is naturally gravitating toward people who tell the truth in their music. And that's low key what the proliferation of drill has been about, which is we want to hear people who tell the truth about this lifestyle.
right.
But as much as that applies to drill, that applies to everything else. We want to listen to SZA because she's telling the honest, vulnerable truth about what being heartbroken is, or what being in love is, or what being beautiful feels like. Truth is starting to become a prerequisite for hip hop music, and I like that trend for sure.
So, let's say per se, Gunna still, I would say the music is still good. And I was fucking with Gunna before they said that he, not even before they said, when we seen that he told on Thug and the Thing. But the only thing is, the type of music that he's known for making, the only reason I wouldn't say I don't give him no pass, but at the same time, I will still listen to music because it's just like, he wasn't like in his music, you done heard a couple lines here and there, but most of the time he just rapping about like swag rap. When I put on Gunna, you feel me, that song, you feel me, you about to go to the club, you got the joints with you can play something like that. It's not like a Pooh Shiesty type vibe. It's not like it's not like a Meat Mill Street type. It's not like that type of vibe. It's just like swag.
Right.
So I would say, how do you feel about like Gunna? Do you still listen or?
I don't know. I just support the whole YSL movement. I've been a big fan of their music for a lot of years, the whole collective. I can't wait till Thug home and things get to be like how they used to be and everything's made right. For real.
Free Thug.
For sure.
Free Jet. Okay, so let's get back to the mayor, man.
Yeah.
So, bro, Sun Talk 2 came up. Well, no, Sun Talk 1 came out in 2019.
Yeah.
Laughing So Hard It Hurts came out in 2022.
Right.
Are we working on a 3-year schedule, or like how does this work, man? Let's talk about these scheduled drops, man.
It's just, I feel like it's just a little bit more complicated with me than a lot of artists because I do everything independently. So, it ain't even no time schedule. It's like when the thing is done, that's when it's done. And I don't want to do anything half-assed. And I also don't want to just sit on something too long. So Hard It Hurts dropped less than 30 days after when the final mixes came back. So it's not like I'm super sitting on stuff. I believe I gotta live shit to have stuff to talk about, and I gotta figure out how to say it in the most honest way. So that'd be negotiating my schedule drops, but also I'm finna start flooding the streets because like my process has changed a little bit where I'm able to make songs a little bit more faster as I grow and get more experience in this shit for sure.
So I was gonna just get into that as well, because we were gonna ask like, what's your creative process like when you in the booth?
Yeah, so my whole thing was before, it was like I used to write a gang of songs and like wait until I had adequate studio time and then record a bunch of songs that I had pre-written. Now it's more like I write little pieces of ideas throughout just my regular day, and then I finish it in the studio based around what my days, based on what my days like in the studio are like, and that has like, that's like made my music like a lot more honest and more like a living time capsule of the day. And it's also allowed me to just, as long as I arrive to work every day, I trust myself to have something cool to say. That's why I've been making a lot more songs in a lot shorter time, but still feeling equal amount confident about like the lyrical content, the density, the beauty, and my ability to stand beside me as an artist. So I've been, things have been changing with me, but a lot's been the same, for sure.
Okay. So do you have it, like, let's say you said you don't like to sit on music, but I'm like, man, we got 2 albums and we ain't got any singles since Laughing So Hard It Hurts.
Yeah.
So
We got
like,
one, so.
Is everything that's coming out now like brand new things?
Yeah. I'm gonna drop, so I'm finna, secret, at 100,000 followers or something, knocking on the door, I'm gonna drop my website, and then on the website I have my archive of just like all the things that I made and didn't drop, just for people to like be able to see the growth in between the things. But the main way I want to represent my growth is through the new work. So mostly everything that's an official release will be brand. No, everything that's an official release will be brand new for sure. Because I'm so excited about the things I've been making lately.
Okay. You got anything else?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say, man, so we coming up to the later portion of the interview.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get out what we gotta finish it's 4 parts.
Yeah.
We got Amir,
Yeah.
got Sko, now we got you, and the next is Messiah.
Yeah.
But I really want to know like what that collective means to you. What does KILLSWITCH mean to you?
Shit, the KS, that's my family. Like, that's who was with me from the beginning. Saw me learn, saw me grow. I got to watch them learn and watch them grow and learn from them. Them is like my brothers in arms. Like, rap or not, we walk this life together. You know what I'm saying? We travel together in this journey of like growth and full life. So Yeah, they mean everything to me. I love their mamas and their younger siblings and stuff like that. Like, it's way deeper than that. It mean family to me for no bullshit. It mean everything to me. I'll do anything for them boys. Anything. Because we done took so much risk together, and we done did a whole bunch of shit together that got shit to do with rap and don't got shit to do with rap. So it's a loyalty that I have to that campaign that we built, and I can't never give up. For sure. Mm-hmm.
That's real love. I'm like, I really love seeing what my guys are doing. Every time, it's not even every time we chat, but every time it's like we ain't seen each other in a minute, I always do bring up like, yo, like, this is crazy to, like, you feel me, even see, because it's just like, my guys been working for so long, and then just to see like shit is really working out for them, like, I'm loving to see that. So that's why whenever niggas in the city, whenever they drop a project, I'm first, I'm trying to repost that shit. I'm trying to goddamn be there.
We appreciate that.
Because it's just like, bro, this shit, I can only see this shit getting better. And it's like, when I'm having my chats with either you or Amir or Sko, and it's just like, it's always been like, okay, whoever Pop Crazy, we just got down, run behind.
We passed the ball to the nigga closest to the rim, period.
Type shit.
And this kid has been his first, last, and in the middle. Like,
Type shit.
I promise you, I would never choose nobody over Kaz. And they know that. And everybody else know that. They know how this shit works, the Mafia. In a good way. In a positive way.
Okay, last question.
Yeah.
What are some ways that you can see yourself evolving as a man and or as a rapper in the next decade?
Shit, I wanna get to buying shit around the city. I wanna become institutionally accepted where I can do stuff in the schools, with the youth, with the elders in my city, with the less fortunate in my city, with the local businesses in my city where I'm just a respected man. Just as a guy, beyond how good people think I rap. I want to be the best rapper in the world. Biggest is different than the best. Most cool, biggest chain, all that's different from the best, but I want to be the best in the world. And I ain't start this without the intention of trying to be the best in the world. And I want to be a better son. I want to be a better brother. And I want to be a father one day. I want to have a family of my own and be a centerpiece for my family, for real. Like, that's the main thing. Like, all that, this and that, like, I give all this shit up if it don't mean I'm somebody in my family. I swear to God. I swear to God.
You know what? I think that's where we're gonna end the game. I'm like, man, family over everything.
Family over money, family over everything. I'm telling you.
Everything except God.
You see what I'm saying?
Say shit.
Look, family is the language God talk to me though.
That's good.
Nah, that's the blessing part of that shit.
Yeah.
No bullshit.
Alright, well, bro, it was a blessing having you in today. I'm like, one more time, it's Mavi, motherfucking former mayor in this motherfucker. Bro, what's all your ats and socials for the peoples?
It's just Mavi for mayor. It hit different when I'm only Mavi for mayor. Like, I'm easy to find. I ain't know how, and I'm so turned up now. You can just go on Google and just type in just Mavi. You go on YouTube, just type in just Mavi. Try it on
And then pop.
No cap.
That's crazy.
I know that's the biggest blessing. I ain't number 4 letters. I'm popping up. Nah. So just look me up. I'm Mr. Mavi, man. I'm a positive nigga. I'm a good person. I'm a lovable person. I'm a handsome person. I'm a blessed person. You know, I'm a loved person by my family, by God, and by my city. My city love me. I ain't, like, I would never just say I'm the mayor and I ain't the mayor. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro, come lock in with your boy, bro. I ain't trying to hurt you. I'm just trying to love on you. I'm just trying to make you feel seen. Fuck with me.
Man, let's get it. Mavi premiere, Relentless TV in this month.
Now we coming.
Relentless, nigga. Please.